Money. This world's got a whole lot of money. There is money everywhere. There's so much money that's been generated. And we as human beings have been generating wealth since from thousands of years ago. That pace of wealth generation has only been accelerating, and the ability to create wealth, the ability to create extra zeros on these dollars, on other forms of money, is huge. And nowhere can we see a bigger example of that than in the recent events with the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, the burning of it, and the quick reactions to what's happened. Overnight, there's been billionaires, multi-billionaires, trillionaires, almost trillionaires that have been donating money to it. And the reactions of what's been going on have triggered some emotions, including with me. And then what's amazing is that a magazine, Forbes magazine, comes out with a story, and it's an opinion piece. It says, hey, don't attack the wealthy for generous Notre Dame donations. You know, because there's nothing worse than attacking a rich person for making certain decisions. Just, let them off the hook. Now, in this article, this Stephen Pope gentleman is a typical corporatist who will tell you that rich people are nothing but good for society. They give you a few jobs, and so whatever they get with their money and do with it is, none of your business, and how they spend it is just fine, and shut up because life is good under capitalism. But, not everyone agrees with that. And look here. The sum of 100 million euro, about $112 million, was donated by Francois-Henri Pinault, France's second richest man, early on Tuesday morning. This was swiftly followed by Bernard Arnault, the chairman and chief executive officer of LVMH, the world's largest luxury goods company. If you know Louis Vuitton, there's a clue on that. He's the richest person in Europe and the fourth richest person in the world, and he donated 200 million euro, about $224 million. Bam! Like that. By the end of Wednesday, the French government had received over 850 million, 956 million from wealthy French families, French companies, and international corporations. $1 billion overnight! 1 billion. 1 billion. Just pow, like that. Pow. How much money do you have to have before you can say, hey, just immediately, hey, here's 100 million. Bam. Here's 224 million. Bam. Like, how much money do you have? It's nearly inconceivable. And so they're donating to the future restoration project of the Notre Dame Cathedral. And there you go. So on the flip side, Philippe Martinez, leader of what this guy calls the militant CGT labor union, this author would probably call any labor union militant. He said, the quote is, can you imagine 100 million, 200 million in one click? It really shows you the inequalities in our country. If they're able to give dozens of millions to rebuild Notre Dame, they should stop selling us that there is no money to pay for social inequities. Oliver Puriol, a French philosopher and novelist, added, Victor Hugo thanks all the generous donors ready to save Notre Dame and proposes they do the same with Les Miserables. Right? How's that not happening? Now, we also have. I've also got a clip here from France 24. They're like a national news outlet, and they have an English version of it. And here's some other reactions of what's been going on.
That's right.
Everyone pulling together. And I'm sure records have been broken when it comes to the amount of money that's been raised and how quickly it's been raised. Nearly €1 billion already for Notre Dame.
So that is very impressive, and a lot of people very complimentary of that as well. Others saying, you know, reaction of the rich to the Notre Dame fire teaches us a lot about the world we live in. In other words, when people want to give the money for the cause that they want to give it to, it's there. So you did have people saying, this was a quote from that comment, that article in Duopoly. If two men, with two of the donors, in a world of more than 7 billion people, can provide 300 million to restore Notre Dame within 6 hours, then there is enough money in the world to feed, clothe, educate everybody. The failure to do so is a matter of will and a matter of the system. So a lot of people those comments were made saying, we can't tell people what good causes to donate money to. In other words, people donate to what they want. But this is why philanthropy can never replace taxes. That's one comment there connected to that as well. It's astonishing the amount of money that was given simply because it serves to remind us that there is massive wealth and money will pour out of the coffers for causes that only the rich care about. So some of those comments not altogether clement.
Let's not forget they are people that create wealth.
Oh, let's forget there's not people who create. There are people that create wealth. Nice to know there's Republicans in France too, right? So, anyway, what really shocked me about this event is not that there was giving to the restoration of Notre Dame, a cultural icon in all of the world, or at least in Europe, or that some rich people would give. It is the ferocity and the speed and the amount at which they give, which is just shocking to me. And as one of those tweets said, it really shows you what they can do when they actually care about something. Now, when we talk about our political ills in this world, or in this state, or in your local community, the action is pretty much the same. And when you wonder why certain things get done right away, and why it takes a decade for other good causes and people to, get a share of the wealth that we create within this country through all of our systems, through all of our hard work, through the economic system we've set up, through the labor, through the intelligence and the will of lots of people, not just the people that own a particular business. It's all of us putting into this. And yet, all of us don't seem to get as much of a share of it. I think that needs to be changed. And I think things like this bring this out to light. That if rich people, super rich, I'm talking about super rich people, would just write of their own volition to good causes, to help with things like homelessness and hunger, and creating a better safety net for the society in which they live in, then maybe we wouldn't need as much government interaction. But it never seems to happen. So I want to thank Forbes for putting out that opinion piece. It's the rich saying, don't attack the rich. That's really rich.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.